How do you become great if you don't know what greatness looks like? You know, when you're doing the inner game, when you're working on yourself, it's learning from others, and it's getting feedback from others, and it's being aware of, you know, where are you right now and what things that do you need to work on, because it's not the goal that you're setting yourself for, it's who you have to become in the pursuit of that goal. And so again, if you can kind of unravel some of the things that are currently, and this is important because again, I meet a lot of people that are just focused on making money. And unfortunately, it's the law of the lid. They will never, Jim Rohn says, you will never exceed your own personal development, and you'll never grow a team or lead a people. People will not be a part of your vision that operate at a higher level of consciousness than you if you're operating down here, right? And so it's the act of saying, first of all, getting clear on where it is that you're trying to go, right? But as you start to work on that, it's taking the time to assess, where are you at right now? What things happened over the last year that weren't a part of the plan that maybe threw you off, and, identifying things that you can do better and finding those narratives that you've created for yourself and asking yourself, is it true? I have a colleague of mine that, we were having a conversation, and they had a perception on an issue that we were having a conversation around. And this individual said exactly what I agreed with, but in interpretation of what they said and what I heard, it sounded to me like they were arguing a point that clearly didn't need to be argued. As I paused and asked more questions to get clarity, I realized we were on the same page. What I want to emphasize here is that things can be lost in translation and just communication. And what happens is as we go through our year and things happen to us, we anchor these stories. And these stories are usually from the perception of our identity. And it's really easy to move on with our lives if we create these narratives of things that are happening. But it's when we stop and take account, and we take account of what we could have done differently. Is that really true? When we go back and say, hey, listen, here's the lessons learned. You really can't change anything until you have desire. And the first step that you have to make after you have the desire to do something is getting awareness, the things that you're going to need to change, and get, what are you going to do that's in your control in order to, move closer to that goal. Hey, if you enjoyed the short clip to the podcast we did, then here's another short clip that you can watch, or you can watch the entire podcast here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.